What's up everybody, Super WX fan here again, reviewing another car today. This is the Mercedes C300 4MATIC. This is a 2012 model. Few comments about the front end here. I mean, it's nice that Mercedes still includes this nice hood ornament. That's, you know, kind of an old school touch that I'm glad they still have on this car. It's kind of cool when you're driving down the road to see that over the hood. It's kind of sweet. This is a base car, so it has halogen headlamps, which don't look as good as the bi-xenons that you can get. It still has these nice LED daytime running lights here though. You know, nice big chrome grille. I mean, the car I still think looks really good. I mean, this is the last year for this car before they upgrade to the new model, but I still think it aged really well. I mean, for this car being almost 5 years old with the way this body style is, it still looks really good, very modern, very fresh. As we go to the sides here, I mean, you'll see, you know, it has the nice little LED turn signal indicators here, which is a nice feature. Rims are nice. I mean, the car is just put together really nicely. And then as we move to the back here, you know, one of the mid-model refreshes they did was LED tail lamps, which give it a nicer look than the standard bulbs that they had in the older C cars. And I mean, otherwise, it's a nice car. I like the way it looks. I mean, it's typical Mercedes. It's, you know, muted but elegant and stylish. I really don't have any complaints about the way it looks.
So on the inside of this car, it's a very nice place to be. The leather in this car is really soft. It's really nice. Everything's soft around you. I mean, I have my elbow on this pad and it's nice. My elbow on this pad, it's nice. I really am not a fan of the seat controls on the doors. That always seemed a little odd to me, but I mean, it works. It's, you know, just something you have to get used to. Otherwise, I mean, everything's nice in this car. The shifter feels really nice in your hand. The climate control is easy to use. The navigation, all that kind of stuff is a little tricky, but it's not bad. This command system is actually much more improved over the older versions. It's very easy to change radio stations, for example. You know, luckily you still have a dedicated volume knob, a next, a back button. You have, you know, a numeric keypad, so you can just punch in the number of the channel you want, whatever, you know, things like that. It's really easy to use. The gauges are beautiful. It's really nice. It has that, you know, nice big screen right in the middle of the speedometer. That's a really cool thing. Everything's just very attractive, very nice to look at. I love the old school feel of the dial on the radio here and just the way that it looks and everything. It's classic Mercedes. I mean, you see this in all the Mercedes cars, and it's just really nice to look at. There's a reason why, you know, they've kept it the way it was for so long. There's nothing really about this interior that I can complain about at all. The moonroof is really nice and big. There's plenty of room in here. I mean, for being the, you know, base Mercedes over here in America, this is, you know, basically, I mean, the C is the smallest you can get here. This is a nice car. You know, this one would run you close to $40,000 if you were to go out and buy it brand new. You know, it's up for debate whether or not this is better than the 3 Series or the A4 or anything like that. I'll talk more about the driving aspects, but as far as the interior is concerned, I think this is definitely more warm feeling than the BMW and less plasticky feeling than the Audi. So what is it like to drive? Let's find out. So one of the things that I've realized about this car is the steering is very nice. It's not as sharp as a 3 Series, but I think it's sharper than an Audi, like an A4, but it's very smooth in the way it feels. It has very nice feedback. It just feels really nice, and this wheel is phenomenal as well. I mean, it's nicely leather wrapped, metal accents, everything's very high quality. All your necessary controls are on it. It's just a really nice place to put your hands. And I mean, the car just, it's so effortless and it just whisks you away. It's very smooth. I mean, 3 Series has a harsher ride. The A4 is similar to this, but it's not nearly as smooth. This is sharp and smooth at the same time. It's kind of odd. It's really nice. I mean, this is the C300, so it's a little bit of a step up from the C250. This has the V6 engine that puts out 248 horsepower, which isn't going to blow your mind with performance. It's about 6 seconds 0 to 60, and you know, it's more than adequate. I mean, if you're in a hurry and you need to get up and go, it'll do it. You know, it won't bog down. It's not going to complain. It'll get up and go. It's, you know, very good in that regard. And another thing is, this car has a 7-speed automatic transmission. This was actually one of the first cars to have a 7-speed. And, you know, like the Focus that I reviewed previously, that had, you know, just a 6-speed, and that was shifting a lot, and it was unsure what gear to be in. Obviously, this is a Mercedes. It's an entirely different segment. But, I mean, even with 7 speeds, it knows what gear it's supposed to be in. It doesn't jump around or anything. But the only complaint I do have about this 7-speed is that it doesn't get better gas mileage. You have 7 gears, and even though this is a V6, I mean, it's not exactly a thrifty engine, but it's not a gas hog either. But yet this car only gets 20 miles to the gallon in the city and 27 on the highway, which is just, I was almost amazed when I saw those numbers at how terrible they are for a car like this. 7 speeds, you should have no problem having your 7th gear, you know, at a really tall ratio so that you can just get really, really good gas mileage, at least on the highway, even if the city's terrible. But no, it's just 20 miles in the city, 27 on the highway. That's just not really acceptable for this segment. And to me, that's the one glaring issue about this car, because it's not sporty enough to, you know, warrant the crappy gas mileage. It's just supposed to be a comfortable car, and if I want a comfortable car, you might argue I'd get the 250 instead of the 300, but the 250, some people say, lacks power. So, you know, I think the 7-speed could have been engineered better so that it's more economical, and that's the only complaint I have about the automatic here. But I want to talk about the ride in this car. It's one of the smoothest riding cars that I've experienced in a while. It's very, very nice. It absorbs all the bumps. It's something that, I mean, you don't even almost notice. I'm driving on roads I drive on regularly, and I'm anticipating bumps, and I know how they feel in the BRZ. I know how they feel in the Focus. In the Forester, I drove the same road for all of these cars, and this by far is the most comfortable. I mean, again, we're in a Mercedes, so maybe some of this stuff is, you know, goes without saying, but this is just so refined. It's so nice. I've driven other Mercedes before, and, you know, I think this is just, they did a really good job with the suspension in this car, because it's still hugs the road really well. There's not a ton of body roll, you know, all the motions are very well controlled, but it's very, very comfortable. Mercedes did a really good job with this car as far as cruising goes. And you can probably hear how quiet it is in here too. That rattle that you might be hearing is actually from my backpack. There's nothing in this car that rattles. This car has done over 12,000 miles, so this isn't a brand spanking new car. This car had time to break in a little bit and start rattles or squeaks or anything. This doesn't have any of that. It's very just quiet. Everything's refined. Everything's well put together, extremely well built. Another thing about this car that's really nice is the visibility in this car. The visibility is really nice. You know, the hood sits low, it's not up high, so you have very good visibility in front of you. The side windows are nice and big. You know, the back window's nice and big. There's a huge moonroof in case you need visibility upwards as well. I mean, the moonroof's one of the biggest in this segment. Just really nice all around. I mean, and that also helps make this car feel warmer. It lets in more natural light, so it's a very comfortable, you know, welcoming place to be because of all of this natural light. The one thing that just keeps coming up in my mind as I'm driving this car is how enjoyable it is to drive. This isn't a car where driving is a chore. I could drive around like this all day with my arm on this nice soft pad in this nice leather chair with this very comfortable wheel that's easy to turn. This car is easy to accelerate, stop. I could drive this car to the other side of the country with no complaints. It's that comfortable. I mean, I don't know, that's the one thing that keeps coming up to me is how much I enjoy driving this car. And I've driven my fair share of luxury cars, and I wouldn't say that about all of them. This one, though, I definitely would say this is just really nice, a nice place to be, and I just love driving it. When it comes down to sporty driving, you know, the 3 Series and the A4 might have an edge, but if you're buying, you know, one of these base, just standard luxury sedans with the automatic transmission, and you're not getting a C63 or anything, this is just a C300, all you're looking for is comfort. I mean, this is an all-wheel drive model, not sporty, it's just relaxed, chill, and in that mission, this car excels. So my final verdict for this car is, if you're looking for a sport luxury sedan, you know, something that's sharp, this is not it. Not at all. You'd be much better off in the BMW or the Audi. I could have told you that before I drove this. I mean, because I've driven the BMW and the Audi, and they're just so much sharper. I knew this was going to be softer, but that's kind of what I think you go for with the Mercedes. This is something that if you want a comfortable cruiser that's stylish, it has, you know, the class of Mercedes, I mean, I don't think you're going to find yourself in a more comfortable car. I think if you're looking for comfort, this is better than the BMW and the Audi, in my opinion. Just the way the refinement is, the ride quality, everything about it is excellent. I'm sure whenever the new car comes out next year, they'll improve on the gas mileage figures and things like that. But, you know, for a car that, you know, has been around for quite a number of years now, this car is still really impressive, even in the year 2012. And, you know, if you want something that's comfortable, this is one of the first places I would look.